I saw this tweet earlier today, and it was Nintendo of America. On May 15th, Nintendo will open the doors to Nintendo San Francisco. It's the second official store in the United States. And I saw a lot of people, including myself, that were just like confused. Like, San Francisco, the place with like all the crime and the city falling apart, and a very strong democratic presence of crime-ridden areas. Okay. Details on reservation requirements and an early look at exclusive products will be shared as we approach the grand opening. Learn more. And they have this link here. And you can go to the Nintendo website and you can find out more about this site. They don't even have like a image or anything to show. It just says 331 Powell Street, which it's this building apparently. Okay. So on the corner of Powell and Geary in Union Square. So Nintendo is opening another Nintendo store in a location where people are very confused about. Nintendo San Francisco store is located there. You can get Nintendo San Francisco there. How can I attend the grand opening? Reservations will be required to attend the grand opening. More details coming soon. Can I purchase item online or over the phone? No, we currently don't offer online or phone. You need to visit in person. However, you can check out the online store and shop select Nintendo products. Great. So people are wondering why it's not in Redmond, Washington or Seattle, which would make way more sense because that's where Nintendo of America is, or why it's not in LA or literally anywhere else. But why San Francisco? That's a very strange location. But okay. Then you get to the next part of this, which I thought was curious. Because then we start to put on our tinfoil hats on why Nintendo's doing this. And this comes from Thunderstash Gaming. So shout out to Thunderstash. He said, the more pieces we put together, the clearer the picture becomes. May 15th is shaping up to be perfect launch date for the Nintendo Switch 2. And the best part, this isn't just speculation. No insider sources, no leaks, just logic, patterns, and solid research from the community. Let's break it all down. I've been saying this for months on Nintendo Byte podcast. I believe Nintendo would be wise to go for a much shorter gap between their full reveal and launch. Just look at the iPhone 16. Apple unveiled it on September 9th and had in customers' hands on September 20th. We live in an instant gratification society where people want things now, not months later, which I would agree with, by the way. I'm on board with this entire thing, which is why I want to talk about it. I completely agree with this. I think this is a great insight. Nintendo already confirmed months in advance the date for the major Switch 2 Direct on April 2nd. So why wait months again to launch the Switch 2? They need to strike while the hype is at its peak. And again, I agree. And I think everything he puts together here gives us a solid date for when to expect the Switch 2. Doom: The Dark Ages drops on May 15th. And history tells us there's a strong chance it could be a Switch 2 launch title. Nintendo, which, by the way, they've already announced that third-party titles will be available on launch for Switch 2. So Nintendo platforms have a long history with Doom, from the red cartridge on the SNES to Doom 64 and even Doom Eternal on Switch. Every major Doom release is currently available on Nintendo Switch. And I've said it many times before on the podcast. I expect Microsoft to be Nintendo's biggest third-party publisher on the Switch 2. I'd agree with that. Nintendo Switch 2 Experience event, timing and strategic break. The Nintendo Switch 2 Experience event runs April 4th to May 11th across major Switch 2 launch regions before taking a 20-day break, resuming May 31st in Seoul and region historically excluded from Nintendo's initial console launches. Switch 1 launched there 9 months later in December 2017. This gap strongly suggests Nintendo is using this time to launch the Switch 2, as there's no reason to halt momentum unless it's for a major event. Lego Mario Kart is releasing May 15th. But here's the kicker. Lego almost always launches their big collaborative sets to be with Nintendo or any collaboration at the beginning of the month and on the weekend. Yet this one is dropping midweek on a Thursday. According to Andres Research, which, by the way, cool dude, excellent work. This breaks Lego's usual pattern. When Lego deviates from the pattern, it's usually for a strategic reason. All right. Some have argued that Nintendo wouldn't release Lego Mario Kart on the same day as Switch 2 because it would kill people's wallets. But let's be real, Nintendo knows it will sell out regardless. The key here is that May 15th is an exclusive launch through Lego.com. Retailers like Amazon, Target won't have it until July 1st. Why fragment the release date for a Lego product unless it's tied to a major event? It's all part of the strategy. And then here to the original point, Nintendo's San Francisco opens on May 15th. And launching the Switch 2 the same day isn't a coincidence. It's strategic. People underestimate how much strategy goes into picking a grand opening date. Aligning Nintendo's first Western store with its biggest product launch in years guarantees headlines, maximum hype, and drives foot traffic. A soft opening, unadvertised opening, 1 to 2 weeks before to ensure the staff is set up for success seems likely, making May 15th look even more locked in. Massive Switch 2 shipments spotted. A recent report from Necrolite, based on data surveyed from Famiboard's user Lick, reveals that January 2025, Nintendo's contracted assembly plant in Vietnam exported around 383,000 complete Switch 2 units exclusively to North America. This confirms that mass production is well underway, adding even more weight to the growing evidence of the May 15th launch. They already have nearly 500,000 Switch 2s created, probably more by now because that was in January. Holy crap. And remember, this is just from one of Nintendo's manufacturing plants. They have multiple facilities, meaning the actual number completed units could be significantly higher. You don't ship out nearly 400,000 units just to let them sit in a warehouse. That costs Nintendo money and increases the risk of leaks. When it comes to logistics and supply chain management, Nintendo is an absolute boss. These units are moving fast for a reason. Donkey Kong Country opens at Super Nintendo World on Thursday, May 22nd. But if the Switch 2 was launching then, the last place Nintendo would want fans to be waiting is in line for a console instead of enjoying the park. A May 15th launch lets Nintendo own the headlines for 2 straight weeks. Nintendo's gearing up, guys. This is going to be crazy. Yeah. Strategic timing for maximum impact. May 15th launch is far more effective than releasing during Memorial Day weekend when many are traveling, which I'd agree. Nintendo wants Switch 2 in players' hands as school lets out for the summer, which I'd agree. Ensuring it's taken on flights, road trips, and vacations, which I'd agree. And you may have noticed May's game release calendar is suspiciously light. Big games tend to avoid launching near a major console release. Right now, May is looking like a ghost town. Maybe that's because the Switch 2's launch lineup is missing. Everything is lining up for May 15th. So, yeah, this was very well done work. Very well done work. And then we have this from Bloomberg. Nintendo Switch 2 sets for gaming's biggest ever launch, even at $400+. Investors are betting on Nintendo to deliver the biggest launch game in game history. Wait, hold on. The biggest launch in game industry history with Switch 2. Analysts see it selling rapidly, even with the higher price than its predecessor. The Kyoto-based company is carrying the hopes and expectations of countless fans as well as traders, who this year bid up Tokyo traded share to an all-time high despite slumping sales on its aging platform. Expectations across the industry have risen for the new console. Okay, let's go to this one. The upcoming successor for the Switch may become Nintendo's priciest machine to date, as analysts who regularly communicate with the company and software hardware partners anticipate a price tag of $400. or more. $400 and more. They will sell boatloads of Switch 2 in the first month in particular, almost regardless of the price, which is true because we already know how this goes. They'll sell out day one and then they'll be on the secondhand reseller market for probably $1,500, $1,800, $2,000. And it might be that price for weeks, even if they have 1 million of them created or more. We already know. It's going to be wild. And I'm fully assuming basically May 15th, that's almost exactly 2 months from today. It's like give or take a day or two. We can expect great software lineup year one from a new Mario Kart and 3D Mario. Well, we don't know about that. That'd be great. But after 8 years, to Pokemon Legends, Z to A, and what's this game here? This little game? Metroid Prime 4. There will also be third-party support from day one, most notably including blockbusters like Call of Duty, and I would imagine probably Doom as well. Here's the kicker, by the way. I made a video about Metroid Prime 4 like 4 months ago. Maybe it was 5 months ago now. It was a while ago. There were rumors that Metroid Prime 4 is complete. Like it's done and it could go for sale right now. But Nintendo is being strategic to be like, we're close enough to the Switch 2. Let's just do a dual launch and hold off on it. So Metroid Prime 4 is just taking a back seat. Nintendo hasn't shared anything on it, and it's literally complete. Those are the rumors. So we'll see what comes from that. But that was interesting. But yeah, that's basically all I got on Nintendo. I'm pretty hyped for it. Not gonna lie, I'm pretty hyped for May 15th. It should be interesting.